Okay, fabulous. So starting off as usual, in that comfortable starting position, just with our scan of the body. So starting from the top of the head and moving to the tips of the toes. As you take that scan, noticing how you're feeling this evening, noticing where you're at as we get started, where any points of tension are, where those spaces are that could use that little bit of extra love and care and attention this evening, or that little bit of extra range of motion as we get started. And also those places that feel particularly good and are ready to go and ready to support you through that flow through our practice tonight, just to become aware of that. As you complete that scan of the body, I want you to take one nice deep breath and just bring your attention to your breath, allowing that space as you inhale for your lungs to expand through the chest, through the ribs, through the belly, and then that nice big exhale to just find that little bit of extra release and relaxation through the muscles in the face, the jaw, the shoulders, down through the core, maybe into the legs, depending on what position you have decided to begin in this evening. From there, I invite you to take any initial range of motion that feels good to get going with. So like I mentioned, maybe you're seated, you find that spinal twist, that lateral stretch, that forward fold. Maybe you're standing, so you find one of those as well, or something a little bit different. Maybe you're at hands and knees, so you find that cat and cow, that child's pose to Cobra. Maybe you're down on your back, so it feels good to pull the knees into the chest or stretch out nice and long. And we'll take about 4 or 5 nice deep breaths in any of those initial ranges of motion just to get you started with your practice on the right foot for you, picking that range, that thing that feels really good for your body this evening. Taking about 2 or 3 more nice deep breaths just to complete whatever initial range of motion you've got going on. Finish it out, even it up. Maybe just nice and easily come out of a stretch that you're in. And then when you do finish that, we're going to go ahead and meet at that comfortable seated position. So taking your time, making your way here, like I said, take your time to finish out that initial range of motion wherever you started. When you get to comfortable seated, as always, legs can be crossed if that's cool for you. If you like a little bit of extra height or padding underneath the hips, maybe you've got your blanket or your pillow or your bolster underneath you. Maybe you some block, that's fabulous. Maybe the legs are out long, knees are bent, feet are planted, wherever you need to be in that comfortable seated position. From there, let's take that scan of the body just one more time really quickly. And in that scan, I just want you to think about all those muscles that you relax and release again. So maybe your eyes gently close or your gaze softens toward the floor. Can you get your forehead relax a little bit? Muscles in your jaw, the rest of your face. Can your tongue come away from the roof of your mouth? Relaxing the shoulders, nice and low away from the ears. Maybe when you relax the neck, the head drops down towards center. Relaxing the core just enough that we don't lose our good posture, but not tensing it. And same thing down through the legs, all the way to the tips of the toes. From there, if you didn't go ahead and drop that chin to the chest, I want you to go ahead with that next exhale and drop it down, and then we'll go right into that roll of the head and the neck. That inhale, pulling that right ear towards the right shoulder, nice length through the left side of the neck, and then our exhale brings us down through center and over in that second direction. So just finding that nice, easy side to side range of motion. As always, if you like to reach those arms down towards the mat for a little bit more of a stretch, or around behind the back for a little bit more of a stretch, you're welcome to do so. We're just moving at that pace that feels good for us. So if you like to move a little bit faster or slower than I'm moving right now, that's totally fine. Take just 2 more nice deep breaths. So maybe that brings you one more time in each direction here. After that, that next exhale drops the chin back to the chest. And then that inhale, go ahead and lift that head back up nice and long at center. When you finish that out, let's go right into our shoulder rolls up next. So nice big circles up towards the ears, down and back, just a couple Nice big circles in that first direction. Loosening up the shoulders. Got a little bit of work in our plank, in our three-legged dog today. So getting them ready. Go ahead and one more in this first direction and then just change it up. Same thing, second direction. Nice big circles. Get them going there. Fabulous. And one more time in that second direction, and then release those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. As always, we'll take it next into our lateral stretch. So that next big inhale takes those arms, sweeps them up towards the ceiling, nice big stretch long away from center. Then that right hand comes down, that left arm comes over top. Chest is open towards the front of the room. Maybe the elbow comes down, but we're not closing it down towards the mat. Next inhale presses us up through center, nice and long, and exhale in that second direction. Once again, nice big stretch from the fingertips to the hips. And then go ahead and move at a pace that feels good for you. So if you like this hold, you can keep moving at this pace. If you like to move a little bit faster, maybe you move with each inhale and exhale. Just taking your time and taking it at that pace. Once again, it feels good for you, feels right for you, that nice deep stretch that feels good for you. Fabulous, fabulous. Let's go ahead one more time in each direction. As always, if you'd like that third change of direction to even out, feel free to take it. When you finish this, we'll go into our spinal twist. So if you're someone who likes to go directly into it, feel free to go right into it. With that last big inhale, we'll take those arms right up, nice and long away from center. And then we'll take it into that first spinal twist. One arm coming down to the front, other arm coming down to the back, shoulders opening towards that side wall. And then from there, I invite you to go ahead and move at that pace. Once again, that feels good for you. Those inhales pulling you through center. You can take your arms up long as you come through center, or you can leave them low and trace them across the knees and twist in that second direction. So same as usual, just moving side to side, finding that nice stretch, finding that nice twist, opening the shoulders towards that side wall. And finding your long spine as you come through center. Fabulous. We'll do a little work with our spinal twists today, both at hands and knees and from our crescent lunge position. So just getting the spine ready to go. Let's go ahead one more time in each direction. And as always, feel free to find that third change of direction if you need to, just to even up. When you finish that second side, that final time, that inhale brings us to center. And if you were taking those arms out and up, just go ahead and relax and release them down nice and low, letting the shoulders relax and release once again. We're going to take it into our half forward fold. So keeping that right leg folded in, taking that left leg out long. From here, we'll come into and out of this just twice. So first time, we'll start with our long spine and fold into it. Second time will be your choice where you want the spine to be. So when you get there, that nice big inhale finds your long spine. You can take those arms up if you'd like to. And then we'll start by folding just with that spine nice and long, finding the edge of that range of motion. When you hit that next exhale, round releases us into it. In that nice deep stretch. So it might change the profile of your stretch just slightly by relaxing the spine, by rounding the spine. Maybe it brings a little bit more stretch into the lower back. Maybe you prefer to have that spine long, so you come back up halfway and just find that kind of hinge at the hips, depending on where you need your stretch to be today. And then, like I said, we'll come out of it and into it on this side just once. So that next inhale brings us up back to that nice long spine, back at center, releasing that stretch through the leg, through the spine. And then this second one is your option. So you can use that long spine, you can round directly into it, you can do what we did last time and start with the long spine and then round into it, whatever suits your fancy. Finding that fold over that first leg one more time. Again, you can find your long spine and then round into it. You can keep that long spine, or you can round directly into that stretch. Just taking the option that works best for you, works best for your body, and feels best as a stretch for you. Fabulous, fabulous. With that next inhale, let's go ahead and release that stretch. We're going to come through our butterfly at center. So the soles of those feet come together just once. So you can find those elbows on those knees. You can grab those ankles. You can fold it forward. You can keep it up tall. Maybe you sit it back and open through the chest if that's the stretch that feels better for you. Just taking 2 nice deep breaths here. Fabulous. And then we'll take it to that other side. So this time, keeping that left leg folded in, taking that right leg out long. First time, once again, finding that long spine, hinge at those hips, edge of your range of motion. And then that next exhale rounds and releases us into it. Both sides a little tighter for me. Both sides feel a little bit different. That's okay. They are allowed to, allowing yourself to feel that stretch. Notice that difference without any judgment. And just so that you're aware of it when we move into the rest of our practice. Fabulous. Last stretch before we get into our flow. That inhale brings us back up, releases that stretch. And then one final time, choose your option. You can start with your long spine and relax into it. You can round directly into it. You can keep your long spine wherever you need to be to make this stretch feel good. Oh, fabulous. Alrighty, with that next inhale, go ahead and release it. Bring it up nice and tall, nice long spine. Maybe shake it out a little bit. Maybe lean it back a little bit and open through the chest. And we are going to move our way over to hands and knees to start our flow. We're going to start it with a cat and cow. Feel free to grab a sip of your beverage on your way over. Feel free to find any final range of motion that might feel good just to get you moving and grooving. And then I'll meet you over there. If you'd like to get right into your cat and cow when you get there, feel free to. And if not, then feel free to just find that easy hands and knees. Maybe sink back into child's pose. We've got about 2 more breaths just to finish making that transition. Alrighty. So when you get to hands and knees, those knees are right underneath those hips. Those wrists are either right underneath the shoulders, or if the wrists are feeling a little less than 100% today, you can always take them out just a little bit. Let's just go into a nice, easy cat and cow. So that inhale drops the belly towards the floor, lifts the hips, and if it feels good, you can lift the chin. That exhale rounds the spine up towards the ceiling, tucks those hips underneath, and that chin towards the chest. From here, let's just go ahead and flow nice and easy with those breaths up and down. Changing our spinal range of motion here, and just kind of intensifying that stretch, intensifying that range of motion. Kind of a similar one to what we found in that forward fold, especially in our cat. Getting ready for October, which will be here before we know it. Whew. Alrighty, go ahead and take 2 more nice deep breaths, 2 more breaths. And then when you finish that second one, go ahead right back to center, nice long spine. All right, we're gonna do our thread the needle, so our spinal twist from hands and knees. We're gonna do it alternating twice on each side. So we'll do right arm, up, left arm, up, down, up, and then we'll do both of those one more time once again. So we're gonna start with that right arm. That inhale lifts us up towards the ceiling, spinal twist opens the chest. Our exhale brings us down and through. Now you can place the shoulder on the floor if you'd like, or you can keep it floating underneath in between that hand and those legs. And then we'll come back up before we set that hand back down. So that next inhale takes us back up towards the ceiling. Nice big stretch, spinal twist. Exhale brings that right hand back down to the mat next to the left. Same thing left side, starting with our inhale to lift up. Our exhale brings us down and through. Again, you can place the shoulder on the floor. You can keep it floating. And then that next inhale lifts us up. Spinal twist up towards the ceiling. And we'll do that one more time on each side with that nice fluid flow. So that inhale lifts us up right up. Exhale brings it down and through. And then our inhale lifts it back up. And then our exhale brings it down next to the left. Same thing one more time on the left. Inhale lifts us up. Exhale brings us down and through. And then our inhale lifts us up. And our exhale sets the left down next to the right. Now we're going to find a little hold in that spinal twist. So we do it one more time in each direction, but we're going to hold it down on the floor. You'll have that option for that half bind. That right hand is going to lift up with that inhale. And then that exhale is going to thread it down and through. From there, this time I do want you to place that shoulder on the floor. Maybe that right ear meets the mat. Maybe that left arm reaches out long. Maybe you like that half bind to intensify your stretch. So you lift that left arm up towards the ceiling, face the palm around behind the back, and bend at the elbow to bring it down towards that right hip, that right thigh. Maybe that doesn't feel good on the shoulders, so you keep that hand right where it was. 2 more breaths in that spinal twist. Fabulous. If you found that half bind, go ahead and release it. Bring that hand back down. If you took that arm out long, bring it in. We're going to take it back up one final time and then switch sides. So that inhale, lift that right arm back up, and that exhale sets it down next to the left. Same thing on that other side. Left hand lifts, and then our exhale brings us down and through. Once again, this time placing that shoulder onto the mat. Maybe that left ear meets. Maybe that right arm goes out long. Maybe it stays where it is. Maybe you find that half bind, bringing the hand around behind the back, bending at the elbow, a little stretch for the shoulder, a little deeper of the spinal twist. Excellent. One more nice deep breath here. If you found that half bind, when you finish that breath, go ahead and release it. If it was long, bring it in. One more lift with that left arm, pressing it up towards the ceiling, and then bringing it back down. All right, now we're at hands and knees. So I want you to go ahead and take that left leg, extend it out long, plant that toe as if you were going to press into a plank. We're not going to go right into that plank first. We're going to take it into a lateral stretch. So that left leg is out long. I want you to take it to the outside of that right foot. Maybe it a little further to the outside. Maybe it's just outside, depending on where your balance is. And then I want you to go ahead and just look over that right shoulder. The left leg is long. It's stepped to the outside of the right leg, and we're looking over the right shoulder. So we're shortening our right side, and we're lengthening our left side. Now the top of that left foot can meet. Those toes can stay curled under, depending on what feels good. That nice deep stretch. If you feel balanced and you'd like to intensify this, you can take that left hand and you can reach it around to the outside of that right hand. So again, lengthening through the left side of the body and shortening the right. Now let's just take that hand back around to center if you did extend it. So both hands are planted, that left leg is still wrapped around, and we're gonna take it back towards where it would be if we were setting up our plank. So it steps right back out to even with that hip, curl that toe under. From here, we're gonna take this right to our 3-legged dog. So I want you to lift that right foot. We're going to press that up as we press our hips up and back. Pressing the shoulders up nice and long, taking a little stretch here. And then from here, we're going to take this to our half pigeon. So not long in this inversion. Right leg is going to sweep underneath the body, underneath the hips. Shin meets the mat under those hips. Top of that left foot meets. You've got your half pigeon here. You can sit it up a little taller. You can sink down a little further into it. Those backs of those hands can meet the forehead. You can reach the arms out long, wherever you need to be here to make this a good stretch for you. And as always, more intense, you're going to be taking that right foot a little further away from the body so the shin is closer to parallel with the front of the mat, but a little less intense and maybe a little bit more comfortable of a stretch. Keeps that right foot in towards the left hip. If you'd like to take a little bit more intensive a stretch for that quad and that hip flexor, you can bring it up to those palms. Step them in front of that right shin. Curl that left toe up towards the ceiling. Lift the left hand and then circle it around just to catch that left toe for quad and hip flexor stretch. Trying to keep the weight from this kind of on the muscle a little bit more than on the joint, because that can be a little bit painful. Fabulous. If you did find that kind of pretzel twist stretch there, go ahead and release that left foot down. And if you found anywhere but those palms, go ahead and bring it back to those palms right in front of the body. Now from here, we're going to go through our three-legged dog once again. This time we're going to land in our crescent lunge. So plant those hands, curling that left toe under. As you send the hips up and back, we're going to send that right foot up and back once again. When you get there, I then want you to bend that left knee, sweep that right leg under, plant it down. Ankle is underneath knee, sweep the arms up, find your balance, find your core. We're in our crescent lunge. We've got a nice bend in that right knee. That left leg is long. That is hip flexor stretch. If you need a gentle bend in that left knee for that hip flexor, you're welcome to take it. We're going to do a very brief warrior 3 balance. If your toe doesn't even leave the ground this first time, that's okay. I want you to go ahead and shift your weight over that right foot when you can. If you would like, lift that toe up. You can bring it up to that balance in our warrior 3, or you can keep it a little closer towards the ground. From here, with your next exhale, we're taking it right back down. Planting those left toes, we're taking it back to our crescent lunge. Cactus those arms for me. Bring those elbows wide, open through the chest. And now we're going to just bring those palms together right at heart center. So folding it in towards center. Take the elbows nice and wide, spinal twist. Left elbow gets sent towards that right knee. If you float it, a little more core work. If you set it down, a little more twist. Excellent. All right, we're taking it back to center, back to our cactus. Use your core. Nice big inhale, stands us up tall, extends those arms. We're going to cactus those arms. This time, we're taking it to our warrior 2. Left heel turns down, arms extend. Peaceful, flips the front palm, lifts it up and back. Peaceful. Cartwheel it down. Right hand comes all the way over, left hand comes over, left heel lifts. Three-legged dog, final time. Right foot's going to get sent up and back. And then we're going to bring it down to our downward facing dog. Right foot comes down next to the left. Nice, which is going to take us into our little bit of core in our plank here. So floating those shoulders out over those wrists. Nice high push-up plank position just for a couple moments in this iso hold. Taking a couple nice deep breaths if you need to. Those knees can always be set down. We've still got that long line from the knees to the shoulders. Nice, one more big inhale. And that exhale sets those knees down wide and those hips send back towards the heels for child's pose. Taking a moment in that child's pose, that little stretch for the lower back, maybe for the chest or the shoulders. We're going to take it to a chest stretch next. So I want you to go ahead and walk it in. Sit that torso up nice and tall. Bring those hands behind the feet. Open up through the chest. Maybe you let the head fall back. Maybe you keep it nice and long, whatever feels good. Nice and open through the front side of the body. Nice. And then pressing up from there, we're going to bring it up and over and back to hands and knees. Nice. Give me 2 cat and cows. Inhale, belly towards the floor. Hips and chin lift. Exhale, spine rounds up towards the ceiling. One more time, just like that. Inhale, belly towards the floor. Exhale, around the spine. Bring that back to our nice neutral. We've got 1 thread the needle in each direction. Right arm lift. Lower. And then lift. Set it down next to the left arm 1 time, just like that. Inhale, lift. Lower. And lift. Set it down next to the right. This time, we're extending that right leg out long behind us, planting that toe down. We're going to bring it around to the outside of that left leg. Looking over that left shoulder for that shortening of the left side, that lengthening of the right side. Again, if you feel balanced here and you would like to take it up an extra notch, you can take those right fingertips, step them around to the outside of that left hand. If that's not your jam, keep it planted, keep it right there. All right, if you did find that hand, go ahead and bring it back around. Step that right leg back out long, right behind the hip. From here, we've got that three-legged dog. So that right toe is curled under, send those hips, and that left foot up and back. Nice little stretch there, and then we're taking it to our half pigeon. Left leg floats under, shin meets the mat underneath those hips. Top of that right foot meets. Again, you can take it to that long spine. You can bring it down. Those foreheads can meet the back of those hands. Taking any adjustments that you need on this side. And again, maybe this side's a little different than the first. That's okay. And once again, if you'd like that a little bit deeper of a hip flexor and quad stretch, you can bring it to those palms, around to the outside of that left shin, point the right toe up, reach that right hand around to catch. If you did find that stretch, that quad stretch, gently go ahead and release those right toes down. Everyone go ahead and bring it back to those palms. We have once again got that three-legged dog to our crescent lunge. So curling the right toe under, sending us up and back. Nice little stretch, three-legged dog. Bend that right knee, sweep that left leg under, ankle underneath knee. Find your balance, sweep those arms up, crescent. Nice, our brief warrior 3 balance here. So shifting our weight over our left foot this time, bringing it so that our weight is on it. Again, toes can stay down, they can lift halfway. You can bring it up to that full balance here. Next exhale, bends that left knee, sets those right toes down, long arms. Which brings us to our cactus. Open the chest, bring the elbows down, our goalpost arms, whatever you like better. Nice. From here, we got our spinal twist. Palms come together, heart center, elbows wide, right elbow sends toward that left. Next inhale brings us back up to center. Nice long arms, nice long spine. Take it back to that cactus. Elbows wide, open through the chest. Warrior 2, turn the right heel down, send the arms along here. Peaceful, flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Reel it down, left hand, right heel. Final time, three-legged dog for this side. Left foot lifts up and back. And then go ahead and set it down next to the right for our downward facing dog. All right, from here, we've got that little bit of a plank again. So go ahead and float those shoulders out over those wrists. Again, you can have it from those toes or those knees if you'd like it. Finding your breath, pulling your shoulder blades apart, staying nice and stable, nice and strong through your core. Down that center line. Excellent. Don't forget to breathe in that plank. Looking good, looking good. Nice. Give me 2 more nice deep breaths. Big inhale and exhale. 1 more big inhale. And exhale briefly into child's pose. Knees wide, hips back towards the heels. And then let's take it up and over for that chest opener. So bringing those arms in, that torso tall. Hands go behind those toes, open up through the chest. Maybe let the head fall back. Fabulous. Let's bring it up and over, and let's hit that hands and knees once again. All right. We'll take it back into that child's pose, or you certainly have the opportunity to grab, or cat and cow is what I meant. Take it back into that cat and cow, or if you would like an opportunity to have a sip of your beverage, feel free to take it. We're going to go through this sort of one more time on each side, a little bit faster this second time before we switch over to that second meeting. All right, so if you'd like a sip, go ahead and grab it. We're going to take it through 3 cat and cows before we get started. Like I said, a little faster, a little abbreviated. We're going to take those thread the needle spinal twists out. Inhale, belly towards the floor, hips lift, maybe the chin lifts. Exhale, spine rounds up towards the ceiling. 2 more just like that. So if you're finishing out that sip or a range of motion that feels good, finish it out. Meet us when you're ready. Exhale, spine towards the ceiling 1 more time. Inhale, belly towards the floor, hips lift. Exhale, spine rounds up. And then go ahead and bring it back to center. Nice long spine. Fabulous. From here, left leg sends out nice and long as if we were taking it to that plank, and then go ahead and step it around to the outside of that right leg, looking over that right shoulder. Again, left hand can come around if you'd like a little bit deeper of a stretch. One nice deep inhale and exhale here. Bring that hand back around. If you placed it to the outside, bring that leg back and long right behind the hip. Three-legged dog to half pigeon, a little briefer this time. Right foot presses up as those hips press up. Bend the left knee, sweep the right leg underneath. Shin meets the mat. Top of that left foot meets the mat. You can find it tall. You can find it low. You can bend that knee and bring those toes up and find that quad stretch. We've got 2 breaths here. Fabulous. If you found that stretch, or if you found any version other than on your palms, go ahead and release those toes down. Find those palms. Three-legged dog to crescent lunge this time. Curl the left toe under as we send those hips up. That right foot goes up and back. Bend the left knee. Sweep the right leg under. Ankle underneath knee. Find your balance. Sweep it up. Crescent lunge. Warrior 3 from here. So our weight goes over our right foot. We step it forward and up into that balance, or again, maybe those toes stay down, maybe they're just halfway up, depends on where you're at. Next exhale, bends that right knee, sends those left toes down, long arms, long torso, cactus, elbows come wide, open through the chest, pull the palms together, heart center, elbows go wide once again, left elbow sends towards that right knee. Nice, next inhale takes us back up, long arms, long torso, cactus those arms, elbows come wide, chest opens. Warrior 2, left heel turns down, arms open. Peaceful flips the front palm, lifts it up and back. And let's cartwheel it down. Right hand, left heel. Final 3-legged dog, right foot presses up. Set it down next to the left. Shoulders over wrists. High push-up plank position. Excellent. Keep those shoulder blades separated. Keep that breath going. This time we're going to add that chaturanga, that low flow. So nice and easy, toes or knees, elbows stay close, lower it down nice and controlled. When you hit the bottom, chest up, Cobra. Excellent, toes under, activate the core, press the hips up and back, down dog. Knees wide, hips towards the heels, child's pose. Press it up and over. We've got that chest opener. Hands come behind those toes. Open up through the chest. Once again, press it up and through. We've got hands and knees. Cat and cow just once this time. Inhale, belly towards the floor, hips lift. Exhale, spine up towards the ceiling. And then go ahead and bring it back to centered. Right leg sends out long, toe down. Step it around to the outside of that left leg. Look over that left shoulder. If you feel balanced, that right hand can step around to the outside of the left hand. If you did step that right hand around, bring it back underneath that shoulder. Take that right leg back out long, toe down, heel up. It's right behind that hip. Here we go, 3-legged dog to our half pigeon. So left foot presses up, and then sweep it underneath. Shin meets the mat, top of that right foot meets the mat. Maybe we're tall, maybe we're low, maybe we've got that quad stretch. Fabulous. With your next exhale, bringing it back to our centered pigeon. So releasing those toes, bringing it to our palms. 3-legged dog to crescent. Curl that right toe under. Activate the core. Send those hips up. Left leg, 3-legged dog. Bend the right knee. Sweep the left leg underneath. Ankle underneath knee. Find your balance. Find your core. Sweep it up. Warrior 3 takes our weight over that left foot. Maybe those right toes lift. Maybe they don't. Next exhale, as gently as you can, we bend that left knee. We send those right toes down, those long arms. Takes us to our cactus, elbows wide, open through the chest. Brings the palms together right at heart center, elbows wide again. Right elbow gets set towards that left knee. Spinal twist, spinal twist. Next inhale takes us back up long to center. Nice long torso, nice long arms. Cactus again, elbows wide, open through the chest. Right heel turns down, arms open. Warrior two. Peaceful, flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Cartwheel it down, left hand, right heel. Three-legged dog, final time on this side. Left leg up and back, set it down, neck to the right. Out to that high push plank position, shoulders over wrists. Excellent, excellent little hold here to finish this out. Big inhale. Chaturanga, toes or knees. Exhale, lowers us down, elbows stay close. We press it up to that Cobra. Nice, nice and controlled, looking good. Activate the core, turn the toes under, press those hips up and back. Knees high, hips to the heels, child's pose. Up and over to that chest opener. Hands behind those toes, open through the chest. And then just go ahead and release that, bring it up to that nice long spine. All right, you guys, that sends us to the end of our first 40 minutes together. If you are able to join for the extra little bit, that extra 20 minutes, I will see you back in the same meeting information. If not, happy to have had you here for any length of time that you are able to be here. The light in the honors, the light in you, bowing as we say, namaste. Have a great rest of your night, great rest of your week. And if you're coming back, I'll see you in just a moment. All right. Excellent. Okay, so going right back into it, we'll start off with that cat and cow once again. So knees right underneath hips, wrists either right underneath shoulders, or as always, a little bit out in front is fabulous. Inhale, belly towards the floor for that cow, hips lift, the chin lifts if it feels good. Exhale, spine rounds up towards the ceiling with that scaredy cat. Tuck the chin in towards the chest and those hips underneath. A couple times here, just nice and easy. Finding your breath again, connecting it to your movement again. After that brief break, that brief intermission to change over meetings. Awesome. Let's take one more nice deep breath, that big inhale and that big exhale. When you finish that one, bringing that spine back to neutral, back to center, and we'll add those spinal twists back in. So we'll just once again do it one time on each side. So that inhale lifts the right arm up. Exhale brings it down and through. And then that inhale lifts it back up. That exhale sets that right hand down next to the left. Same thing, other side. Inhale, left up. Exhale, left down and through. And then inhale, up, left. Exhale, sets that left hand down next to the right. All right, we're going to start with that, that lateral stretch, that half plank. So left foot steps out, nice long, toe under, and then we step it around to the outside of that right, looking over that right shoulder. And again, you can stay right here if you'd like. Maybe it's a little bit shallower of a step, maybe it's a little more, and maybe that left hand steps around to the outside of the right. If you like deeper stretch, deeper lateral stretch. Fabulous. Let's go ahead and bring it back to center. Planting that left hand. If you stepped it around, that left goes out long, right behind the hip. We're going to take it to our three-legged dog. So crown the left toe under, send the hips up, right leg presses up and back. Nice little stretch there. Maybe press that left heel towards the ground. Half pigeon, right leg floats underneath, shin meets the mat. So that left foot meets. We're going to take 2 breaths here. You've got your option. You can find tall. You can bring it down. You can find that quad stretch, that hip flexor stretch. And that one more nice deep breath. Fabulous. Wherever you are, go ahead and bring it back to that centered pigeon from those palms. All right, we're going to take it through our three-legged dog to our crescent lunge. Curl the left toe under, send those hips up, send that right foot up, bend the left knee, sweep the right leg underneath, plant it down. Ankle underneath knee. Find your balance. Sweep it up. We're in that crescent lunge. Crescent lunge. Nice little longer of our warrior three here, a little balance. Shifting your weight over that right foot. Again, maybe toes stay down. Maybe you're just working on it. A little lift, a little lower. Maybe we're halfway up. Maybe we're all the way up into that warrior three. Hands can be long, or as always, it's a little better on your lower back. They can be at heart center. Trying to keep those hips even and facing towards the floor. So we don't want to open up in this. This isn't our half moon. This is our warrior three. Next, exhale, gently bend that right knee. Send those left toes down. Lengthen those arms, lengthen that torso. Cactus those arms here. Bend the elbows, open them nice and wide. Goalpost arms. Excellent. Palms together, hands at heart center, elbows wide. Send the left elbow towards the right knee. Spinal twist. If you'd like a little more challenge, the left arm can send out towards that opposite wall. Or those palms are stacked. Maybe the knee sits on, or elbow sits on the knee. If you sent that left arm out, maybe that right arm goes high. Next inhale brings us back to our crescent lunge. Crescent lunge, long spine, long arms, cactus bend, elbows wide, open the chest. Warrior two, left heel turns down, arms send out long. Peaceful, flips our front palm, lifts it up. If you'd like that half bind, you can find that half bind. Cartwheel it down. Right hand, left heel, three-legged dog. Right foot up and back. Set it down next to the left, downward facing dog. Let's float it out to our back. Shoulders over wrists. Nice little hold here in that plank. Excellent. Let's take it through our low flow. Chaturanga, toes or knees, elbows stay close. We lower down. Inhale, presses the chest up dog or cobra. Exhale, activates the core, turns those toes under, presses the hips up and back down, facing dog. From here, two options. You can take it back out to that plank for a little hold, or down to our child's pose for a little release and relax. Either way, keeping it breathing. Nice. All right. Go ahead and set those knees down. If you found that plank, bring that torso up nice and tall. If you found that child's pose, send those hands right behind those hips, right behind those toes. Open up through the chest. Maybe the head tosses back. Maybe it doesn't. Nice little stretch. Maybe you start to press the hips a little bit forward towards what our camel would be. All right. Send them down. If you did, bring it up and over. Back to hands and knees. Cat and cow, twice each direction. Inhale, belly towards the floor, hips and chin lift. Exhale, spine round towards the ceiling, tuck it in. One more time. Inhale, belly towards the floor. Exhale, spine towards the ceiling. Bring it back to neutral. Thread the needle, spinal twist, right arm lift, lower lift. Inhale takes us up. Exhale brings us down and through. And inhale lifts us up. Exhale sets that right hand down next to the left. Same thing, left side. Inhale, left. Exhale brings us down and through. And inhale lifts us up. Exhale sets that left down next to the right. Opposite side now, right leg steps out as if we were going to that plank, toe down. And then we're stepping around to the outside of the left, looking over that left shoulder. Maybe you send that right hand around to the outside. I might have done this backwards. If I did, do the other side. I don't know. Losing my mind. I might have. Okay. Step it around, back to center. Send that right leg or that left leg out long behind you. Three-legged dog. So curling that toe under, sending that leg up and back. Nice little stretch there. Oh no, I did get it right. Nice. All right, half pigeon. Go ahead and sweep it underneath. Shin meets the mat underneath those hips. Top of that right foot meets the mat. Two nice deep breaths. So you can find that long spine. You can bring it down to the mat. You can find that quad or hip flexor stretch. Two nice deep breaths. Excellent, excellent. Good, and bring it back to our centered pigeon. So finding those palms, that right foot down towards the floor. We're curling that right toe under. We're gonna send that left foot up and back like a dog. And we're taking it back to our crescent, so bend the right knee, sweep that left leg forward, plant it down, ankle underneath knee, sweep it up, find your balance. Whew. Excellent, here comes that warrior three. So just shifting our weight over that left leg. Maybe we lift those toes. Maybe we bring it to even. Maybe those toes are still down and we're just working on finding that nice long spine. Hands can be out long or they can be at center. Nice and easy, nice and even. Excellent, excellent, looking good, looking good. One more nice deep breath. Big inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and send that foot back down, bending that knee, finding your balance here, sweeping those arms up. Cactus, elbows wide and through the chest. Palms together, hands at heart center, elbows wide, spinal twist, right elbow towards that left knee. Excellent. Once again, you can send that right hand back out nice and long if that feels good. You can take that left arm up towards the ceiling if you do send that right out long. Alrighty, next inhale takes us back to center, back to our crescent, long arms, long torso. Cactus those arms once again, elbows wide, chest open. Right heel turns down, arms extend, warrior two. Fabulous, turn that left hand over, lift it up and back, peaceful. Work cartwheeling it down, left hand, right hand over and down, right heel lifts, left leg, three-legged dog. And go ahead and set it down next to the right. Downward facing dog, little stretch for the back of those legs. Nice, let's take it out to our high push-up plank position, shoulders over wrists. Fabulous, little hold here, shoulders are separated. Lower back doesn't dip down towards the mat, toes or knees, chaturanga with your next exhale. And then that inhale presses the chest up, over our up dog. Cool little stretch for the front side body there. Nice, activate the core, turn those toes under, press the hips up and back, down dog. Same two options as before. You are welcome to keep it in that plank for a little bit of extra work or send those knees down wide and those hips back towards the heels for that child's pose for a little bit of rest. 3 nice deep breaths here, 3 nice deep breaths. One more big inhale and exhale. If you're in that plank, send those knees down. If you're in that child's pose, bring that torso up. Send those hands behind the toes or behind those hips. Open through the chest. And again, if you'd like a little bit more intensity for those hips, for those hip flexors, you can start to lift them and extend them forward towards the front of your mat as you open up through the chest. Kind of almost into a little bit different of a version of our camel. If you did lift those hips, next exhale sets them down. We bring it back up and over to hands and knees. Whew. All right, excellent. We're going to finish off with just a couple of easy stretches, and then we have time for Shavasana this evening. So a little bit of extra cool down because we haven't done that in a couple of weeks. So I want to start with a couple of easy flows we all recognize. We're going to hit our child's pose to Cobra next. So for this one, I like to keep those knees under the hips, so you're welcome there, or you can take them a little wider if you'd like. Our exhale sends the hips back to our child's pose. Our inhale sends the hips forward to that Cobra. You can move slower or faster than me if you would like. You can take it a little bit less intense and just 3/4 of the way in either direction if you'd like. Or you can just sit in one or the other if one or the other feels particularly good this evening. Finding those nice deep breaths. Finding that nice range of motion. Fabulous, fabulous. I want you to go ahead one more time in each direction. And then we'll meet in our Cobra. So finishing out with our Cobra, hips forward, down towards the mat, which we're going to take to our downward facing dog. Curling the toes under, activating the core, sending the hips up and back, which we're going to take to our low lunge for a little lower body stretch to finish us off. So right leg, and take that three-legged dog. We bend that left knee, sweep the right leg underneath, plant the foot, ankle underneath still, and then send that left knee down to the mat. Same as always, you've got two options for your low lunge. You can send those hands to the inside of that right foot. Maybe the elbows come down, or you can take that long torso. You can turn those hips so the bottom of the pelvis reaches forward and the top of the pelvis dips back, and then just send those hips as far forward as you need that stretch. Either option is fabulous. 2 deep breaths in our low lunge. Nice. We haven't done a lot with the hamstrings, so we're going to give them a little stretch tonight. I want you to go ahead and send those hips back, lengthen that right leg, lift those right toes. We're hinging forward with the hips, so as always, hands can come out wide for a little more support. Fingertips can come towards the toes for a little bit more of a stretch, or you can find those hips with those hands and just hinge as far forward as feels good for you. Just try not to put too much pressure down right on the knee towards the floor. Excellent. We're going to use that low lunge just to transition to that next exhale. Releases that stretch, bends that right knee, sends us forward, plants those hands through our three-legged dog. So curl the left toe under, lift the knee, send the right foot up, set it down next to the left. Same thing, second side, left foot up, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, sweep it under, ankle underneath knee, send the right knee down to the mat. Again, hands can come inside, you can sink into it, or you can find that long torso, turn those hips underneath, and send them forward just slightly. So you find that stretch through that right leg. Depends on how your quads and how your hip flexors are feeling. They start to get tight when you sit all day, which can contribute to that lower back pain. Whew. One more nice deep breath. And let's send it back for that hamstring stretch to finish us off here. Left leg lengthens, left toes lift, hinge forward at those hips. Excellent. Let's take it one final time through that low lunge, plant those hands, curl that right toe under, send that knee up, three-legged dog, left leg, set it down next to the right, send those knees down wide, hips back towards the heels. All right, y'all. It took a little longer with those stretches than I thought it was going to. So if you would like to find your own Shavasana, you may carry it out through after when I end the meeting. So I invite you to find that if you'd like. However, we are out of time this evening, so I'm going to make my transition over to my comfortable seated position just to finish this out with those 2 final deep breaths. As always, legs can be in, legs can be out long. Just 2 nice deep breaths leading with those arms. That inhale takes us up. That exhale brings us down and around. And on this one, those palms meet overhead. Inhale takes us out and up. Palms meet right up overhead. Pull those hands down to heart center. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me this Monday. I hope you have a great rest of your night, a fabulous week. I hope to see you next time. The light in me honors the light in you. Bowing as we say, namaste.